So once upon a time, I was given the task of reviewing all of the toys you currently see. So I figured it's about time. Let's get it out of the way, and we'll do it one day, one review at a time. But first, a question. What do these toys have in common? Nightwatch Optimus Prime, Galaxy Force Optimus Prime, Energon Galvatron, Shadow Command Megatron. They are all leader toys with relatively cool color schemes that you had no option but to pay $40 for. Never was a cheaper option available, and I hate when they do this. I hate when they come up with really cool color schemes and then force you to pay a ton for a toy you most likely already have just so you can get it. But there is one saving grace. Deep Desert Brawl from Revenge of the Fallen, repainted from his leader class toy down to the deluxe, and some improvements made along the way, which we will get into here in a bit. First off, let's look at this vehicle. Now, you've completely redone the deco here. It's not a simple paint-to-paint color scheme change. This is a brand new deco, desert camo instead of the jungle that we are familiar with for Brawl. And it looks great. I absolutely love these colors. It really brings some new life to the toy. It's a toy I really liked in the first movie line. I'm really glad they brought it back in a new color scheme. It really brings a little bit something new to the toy. Now, subsequent repaints and such have created a few faults. On mine, this side has a hard time staying put. And unfortunately, this is rather loose if it's in the wrong position. Luckily, it's stiff enough in the upright position here. So there's a few flaws. That's no big deal. Play-wise, well, surprising amount here. I mean, these little minesweepers are completely adjustable, so you can do with them as you will. The turret does rotate all the way around, though you gotta watch the panels, make sure that everything is lined up correctly, or it will get stuck at points. The upper turret as well. So you've got a lot of range of motion here. These are also adjustable for airborne or ground-based enemies. They rotate as well. So you've got a lot of little positioning options you have here, as well as a firing missile. Mine is currently still in the shelves because I really don't like how it looks stuck at the end of the barrel. Now, if you kind of forgot a transformation step, you're going to come up across with the exposed head problem. Yeah, I kind of forgot that during transformation. Just turn the head around and you'll be fine. It blends in well enough. All in all, really happy with how this came out. I mean, it definitely gives the toy a much different feel from the original, and lighter colors always tend to bring out these sculpted-in details, there's some really nice ones to this toy. Lots of little grooves and little rivets to give it a heavy metal look. It's all done quite well. And I'm really glad to see the treads all the way front to back were painted in correctly, so no little weird gaps like some other Revenge of the Fallen tanks. All in all, really glad they did this color scheme on the smaller scale. So let's take it to robot mode and see where it continues. Of course, in robot mode it keeps the basic color scheme, but it adds a few paint apps to break it up a little bit. You can see most of them are focused here in the arms, where you get an extra gold band, as well as an extra little bit of black to paint some of the machine details. And if we make him a flasher and reveal his chest, you can see some extra gold and brown detailing in there. Now, mostly, that's pretty much it. I mean, aside from the silver on his face and the leftover deco from vehicle mode, he's pretty sparse in the paint area. But no real problem. He still pulls off the colors very well. He still looks very cool in these colors. Well, it's a little bright for a Decepticon, but given the theme, we're going to forgive him. Really, really digging that head sculpt, by the way. That is really nice. And they picked a translucent orange that actually shines through pretty well, even when there's no light behind him. So the eyes don't look dead. That's always appreciated when they try to use light piping. Now, there are a few issues here. For starters, yeah, you can see this little loose thing is way worse in robot mode. And the head on mine, a little loose. But mileage may vary. I try to stress that on all these toys. Sometimes these are just one-off mistakes, and the one that you end up owning may not have these issues. You can see he actually does have quite a bit of range in his head, so I guess we talk articulation next, don't we? Okay, first, hips. Pretty nice. They give you enough range. Big bulky thing like this, you're going to be able to do everything you want. And a sideways knee swivel that helps keep him balanced. The knees themselves, single joint but full 90 degrees there, so that works out pretty well. Full shoulder articulation. And why is that a big deal? I will get to that in a second here. You also get elbows, which rotate around as well as bend a full 90 degrees, but it leaves you with the barbell arms. So, well, it kind of suits Brawl, so I guess we'll forgive that this one time. Mold-wise, you got two improvements over the original. The first one being what I just demonstrated, shoulders. The original, these connection points were really flimsy. In fact, it was infamous for snapping off. Here, very secure. They've adjusted it so that they are very tight and you will have no problem posing your toy now. Bravo, Hasbro. But they've also fixed one that I personally experienced. The automorph on this toy is actually really cool. You fold this part down from vehicle mode and these treads automatically lift up. It's a very dynamic and simple little effect. It's one of those little automorphs that really justifies the gimmick. On Brawl, there was a glitch. If you did not know about the automorph and tried to fold these up on their own, then you ended up with a bunch of cracked gears on the inside of his chest. Not fun to fix, let me tell you. That's because they were translucent plastic. They shattered quite easily. Here, you can see that is a solid molded orange gear in there. That's the stuff they used this time. Much stronger, much firmer, not a problem now. So all in all, Hasbro did a brilliant job fixing all the little problems this toy had originally. As for options and playability, well, you've still got these minesweepers, so you can pose his nipples however you want. Posable nipples, always a big plus for me. Now, you've got a lot of weaponry in this mode. Aside from the guns on top, and aside from these, which are quite adjustable, that's very nice, you've also got the claw, which can be folded back if you don't want it, or folded all the way to the front. You can see a little tiny Gatling gun there on the side, and you've even got the, if I can even get it in, a little chain of bullets there. Very small details. This guy really shines in small details. Speaking of, here's our great big detail. His cannon, huge on him, does, well, actually, it's just short enough that it does not hinder anything. So I take back what I was about to say. And, of course, the missile still fires. However, what a lot of people miss, flip this around and slide it. Well, I guess, there. You've got the chain gun that he featured in the movie. A lot of people missed that on the original Brawl. Glad I get the chance to point it out here. So you've got a ton of weaponry and a ton of small play options on this guy. All in all, everything I had a problem with for the first toy improved upon greatly. The way this guy handles his kibble and just his accuracy to the movie despite his small size always made this toy a favorite of mine. And I was really upset by the faults of the original. Thanks to having all of these problems fixed, as well as having a color scheme I would normally have to pay $40 to enjoy, this one brings everything into a very nice package, making him one of my favorite Revenge of the Fallen toys. And technically he's a repaint. There's some irony to that. And I guess I should explain that little belief in a later review this week. However, we're going to change gears. Stay tuned. Next time, tomorrow is a brand new review into a completely different genre of Transformers toys. So stay tuned. We're going to mix things up just a little bit.